This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. Jinx.
You owe me a Coke.
I'm Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, today's trends, tomorrow's talk.
We do this every day, and I
Every
forgot.
day. Okay.
What's wrong with me?
It's okay.
All right, so anybody have gone to Montana? You ever seen
No,
Montana?
but I'd like to.
It's a gorgeous place.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Is there a lot of things to do in Montana outside of
Cattle
the big sky?
drives and steak dinners.
Well, a bunch of the police officers in Bozeman, Montana, are a little bit in trouble. They figure, and I understand this, but because they're cops, people are a little upset. They started a game. Basically, it's a bingo card competition. Okay. So what they did is all right, if you know how bingo plays, if you do something, then you get to mark it off. Yada yada.
Yeah.
So they got busted. The police chief comes down, put basically it takes two teams of officers. This is what they had to do. Number one was getting the lowest team score on a physical fitness test. Okay, that was something you had to do. Whoever had the lowest actually would get a bingo thing. Putting out a fire before the Bozeman Fire Department arrived.
What does that say about the Bozeman Fire Department?
Exactly. And next one is do a search warrant on a car. This is where I think it gets a little iffy because are you doing it because you suspect, or are you doing it because you want the piece on the bingo card? Yeah. Getting an over 0.3 DUI bust. Now that's my understanding. 0.3 is pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. I don't know if they're going to find them alive if they're
exactly. So I'm not sure who got that. Everyone on the team bust a felony in 1 week. A 3+ vehicle accident. These are all bingo cards points. Okay. Team member hit on by an arrestee, meaning if they're getting arrested, the person has to hit on them, they'll get it. And they have to arrest 3 people out of 1 car, and then finally $50,000 in warrants per team in a week. So they said, no more of this, you're suspended. But I kind of feel bad for the cops because I know that they had their intentions were there because it's like, let's make our job a little more fun.
That would be in their defense, the stuff they have to see on a daily basis and deal with, to bring some kind of levity to their job. And if this is the way they're able to do it just to clear their mind, I give them grace. I mean, their job is tough enough.
And it obviously was an internal thing. It got out.
Every job does that. I mean, what was the TSA movie over Christmas that came out?
With Jason Bateman?
Yeah. With Jason, they had a bingo card for the TSA while they were there.
Point.
So I mean, every job kind of you got to liven it up a little bit. Even when I worked at Disney, we had stuff like that.
I got the point. Disney. I got it first because he said Disney. That's not a real one.
It's every day.
All right, moving forward. One employer thought he had seen everything until a recent applicant showed up for a job interview looking like breakfast. The boss shared a clip of the wild job interview, which happened over Zoom. I think that's kind of a violation, I'm sure, in somebody's rules. At first, the boss thought it was a mistake. The female Gen Zer said that she wasn't feeling great and decided to use the breakfast plate filter to disguise her appearance. Unclear about what happened next, but the boss posted the clip on social media for reaction. Again, not sure if that was the best thing I did. It doesn't identify them. And then it also goes on the other side of this, how to be memorable. Is that the best way? I'm like, but when you're hiring somebody, it's like, are you going to be goofing off? If you're customer service, so not the best idea to do it in the world, especially for your job interview.
No, and I would also argue that when you're doing something like this, is this for a stunt? Are they trying to get more attraction and attention for this? The job interviewee and the interviewer, so to speak? I mean, I do recall when I see this, remember the lawyer guy that got caught with a cat filter?
Your Honor, I assure you I'm not a cat.
In front of a judge.
But that was so sweet because it was honest and authentic, and he didn't know what was going on, and he's a grandpa, and he's like, my granddaughter had a filter set, and he's like, so I'm not a kitten, I swear.
It's like the beginning of COVID when everybody's trying to figure out how Zoom works.
It was the best. It was just such a sweet moment that went viral.
I'm not a cat.
I guess she switched to a strawberry as well, so she was very conscious of being able to do it. Here's the thing, I'm looking at him. I don't see him holding the camera, so somebody else must have been camera. I don't want anybody else on my job interview. I want to talk to the person who's interviewing me, which makes me think,
yes, it could be a setup. Or the person that really didn't want the job, and they're like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to show up as a strawberry. So I can just check a box and say I did the job interview.
You got a bingo card for job interviews.
Exactly. We got today's trends. Tomorrow's talk when we return.